All right, hey there, folks. We're back. You hear that crackling? That's the phone system that we have set up. Dave, are you there? Right here. Yes, I am right here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you through the microphone, but the phone's not working. Why isn't? Why? It was just working a minute ago. Get. You see, you got the cat. No, now it's working. Now it's not.
Why is it doing that? I don't know, Dave. Well, you're on the phone. Yeah, and I got you on the phone. We're using the phone input. I just muted the mic. Well, it does sound like a phone. Well, yeah, it's a phone. It's. I made it out of a phone. You know that. Well, you must have fucked up somewhere because that crackling, cutting in and out. God, can we make this work? I mean, the problem is, I saw it. You sent me a picture of what you had soldered. It was garbage. Complete garbage. I mean, I could do better than that. I've never soldered anything in my life. Yeah, I'm not the greatest at soldering, Dave. Well, you see, no, you don't see what it's doing. Yeah, I can hear it, dude. Well, you're going to have to do something about this, you know. Yeah, I can try to resolder it, but no, it's that cable you used. What's wrong with the cable? Well, only one of them was actually jacketed. The others were not. So you had to use a longer cable that wasn't jacketed, and it's probably touching itself or rubbing up against something else in there. I mean, didn't you use any kind of shrink wrap or? No, I didn't. No. Well, there's the problem. That's why when you let go of that cable, like you're about to do right now, aren't you? You're going to let go of it? Yeah. Watch. See? No, I don't see. It's still working. Well, why is it so quiet? Why do I have to put my mouth all the way up to it? I don't know. I don't know, Dave. Because it's a shitty phone from the 1970s. I mean, I could buy some more. But you're going to buy more. How many of these things are we going to have laying around? I don't know. As many as it fucking takes, Dave. All right? You don't have to get mad. Yeah, I do. Because I wanted a phone mic. And this one doesn't even sound that great. And it barely works. If I turn it too wrong, or maybe it's the connector, I think. I do think it's the connector. You just touched the connector, didn't you? Yeah, I'm gonna turn it. Watch. Yeah, that's it. Well, you did use a 1/4 inch. You need an adapter, and the adapter you have here is well, Amazon cheap Chinese garbage, is it not? Yeah, it is. So what are we going to do here? Because the phone is going to be an integral part of the show, is it not? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we're gonna need this phone line working if we're gonna keep this show going for any length of time. It can't just be me, you, and Bob. Well, Ballonia's coming in. Yeah, yeah, maybe if I let her. I don't know if I want that woman in here. Oh, don't let her hear you saying that. What, you think she's listening right now? You never know. Vince is probably listening. Vince is obsessed with this show. You have a valid point there. It's so quiet. I mean, I have my headphones in. It's up all the way. Your headphones turned up all the way? Uh, yeah, they are. And it's very quiet, is it not? Watch out, the cat's about to get to it. Tia, will you stop? Hey. No, don't put your paw on it. I still don't know why you bring this cat to the studio. Because I felt like it. Because I like having my cat around. Is that a problem? Well, you're one of these Gen Z types. You can't go 5 minutes without having a cat to pet. No, that's... Dave. Shut up, man. What, am I striking a chord here? Am I striking a nerve? No, you're being a dick. The cat's here because the cat's here. Don't worry about the cat. We need to get this thing working. Well, I mean, it's working now, isn't it? Yeah, but it... I have an idea. What's that? Hold on. Don't... No! Don't step on the fucking... Get off the... Get down. Get down. There you go. God, I thought you were about to snap the cat's neck. Why would I do that, Dave? I'm not gonna hurt my cat. Well, you were looking at it like you... I was looking at it like she was pissing me off and she knows better. What I'm saying is this doesn't really sound like a phone. Yes, it does, actually. It sounds exactly like a phone. Well, I need it to sound more like a phone. I need it to have more... See? See? There you go. Oh, God. What are you doing? I'm just testing out different things here. So if I blow into it, if I... Well, that worked. Yeah, but it wasn't working earlier. Every time I made too much noise into it, it would cut out. So that's not a problem with the wiring, then. That's a problem with the actual microphone itself. Well, it's not a microphone. What do you mean? I mean, it's a speaker, dude. I got this phone, and I took the microphone out of it, because the microphone has to run off of like 48 volts or something that comes through the phone line. But the speaker, you can wire it up and use it as a microphone. What? It's not a... It's a speaker, not a microphone. Yeah. They work both ways, don't you know? What do you mean? Why do you keep asking what do I mean? They work both ways, dude. Well, I've been an audio engineer for... Well, I was one at one point, and now I technically am again. I've never heard of that. Well, then you weren't doing your audio engineering homework well enough, were you? Because a microphone and a speaker can be reversed, depending on the microphone and the speaker, to limited effect. Clearly this one's working well enough, because I can hear it through my headphones. It just doesn't have that compressed sound that I'm looking for. Maybe I'll have to get something from the 60s, or maybe I'll have to get like an old rotary phone. We'll have to get a few different models and test them out and see which sounds best. Because if I'm going to be doing, say, Mahmoud's voice... Oh, now you're throwing the audience for a loop here. Now they're going to know you do voices. Oh, now they're going to know, huh? What, like they never knew before? Look, I don't think this is a good idea, okay? Well, how else are we going to do this? What do you want me to do, like, try to get some way to hook up a cell phone? It's not going to sound right, dude. We need to get that old school sound out of an old telephone. Is there not a way to... Hold on. I see you about to cut me off. Hold on. Is there not a way that we can get an old phone headset and use the microphone itself, like they have those carbon microphones? Well, yeah, it's possible, but we'd have to figure a way to power it. I mean, maybe if we got some kind of like audio mixer with a preamp that had phantom power, maybe that power would be able to use one of these. What did you say? It's 48 volts. Yeah, that's what I read at least. That's a lot of voltage for a phone handset. And that was originally coming through what? The RJ45 connector that came out of the wall? I don't think those use that much voltage. Well, apparently they do, man. I I don't know. We'll have to do some research if we want to figure this out. I think for now that this phone works fine. What you need to do, since you're obviously just telling the audience now, hey, I'm going to be doing the voices, people that call in aren't really calling in, you need to get better at doing voices so that even this phone will be able to mask the fact that you're the one doing it. Well, hold on a second, because we got filters here we can use. Like there's a compressor, there's an equalizer, an expander, there's gain, there's oh, you can use any kind of VST plugin on this too. Where are you seeing that? You go to the source and you right click and you go to filters. And you can use VST plugins like stuff that's on a FL Studio, for example. Yeah, it's got to be a VST 2. We can't use anything 3, and maybe not anything 1 either, because it says 2.x plugin, so I think it might only be VST 2. But try one out. Well, I mean, I already have the compressor on there. We'll try something else out. Here, try the gain. Because you know we need gain. Turn it way up. Yeah, there we go. See, that's loud. That's how we need it. Well, maybe not that loud. Well then, I don't know, increase it by 10 decibels. 10 decibels, that should be enough, right? Yeah, that's good. So now we don't have to worry about buying a preamp. It's all done software side. Okay, try the equalizer. Okay. Now for a phone like this, it's going to have a lot more high end, so increase the high end. There we go. And maybe drop the low end down. Yeah, that sounds good. No, it doesn't sound good, Dave. It sounds like shit. Let's bring the low end up and bring the high end down. See, that gives it more of a muffled, compressed sound. Maybe drop the mid-range a little too. Well, now you barely understand what you're saying. Yeah, and that's how these old phones used to sound, man. Well, you want to bring it up a little bit. All right. We'll bring it up to, let's just put it back at 0, I guess. And then bring the highs up a little, so we're getting maybe about -5. Is that good? What do you think, Dave? I still think your lows are too high. You need to bring the low down to here, about 10. Drop the mid to -5. And put the highs all the way up, like I said. Well, yeah, but now it's too clear. What do you mean aren't we looking for clear sound? No, we're trying to emulate how these phones used to sound back in the day. Dave, you're 40. You know how these things sounded. You were around before there were cell phones. No, I wasn't. Okay, you were around before cell phones were popular. And I'm not 40, I'm 43. Well, try another one. Like what? Try the expander. Well, what does an expander even do? From the looks of it here, it looks like a compressor. Ratio, threshold, attack, release. Oh, well, actually does something. Like, it's almost like cutting the voice out. That's good for noise removal. We put it back down, you can hear all the background noise. I should try to do that with the main mic. Well, that way when you switch between them, yeah, that way we can get rid of hearing the background noise, the fan over there, because we need the fan on. And that way when I switch between them, it won't sound like my mic's cutting off. Well, because you have to mute your mic to go to this phone, otherwise you'll get an echo effect, and the suspension of disbelief is gone. Right, so I think 5 is good. Well, what? Aren't we going to be using sound beds? Yeah, eventually, when we can find them. And those are going to be playing, what, with the phone? Like, you're going to have to activate each one? Well, yeah, but I plan on having, like, hotkeys, or maybe even using, like, my MIDI keyboard, so it's not as involved. So, let's mess with the equalizer again, now that we have that there. Let's bring the highs, how about a 10? I think that's a good midpoint. And the lows, I say put them all the way up. Well, now we're getting background noise again. Well, then we got to go back to the compression here. Raise it up to... No, I'm still hearing it kicking in and out. Let's go up to 12.5. Perfect. Yeah, I'll say so. Well, the shitty thing about this is there's no add noise. There's noise gate and noise suppression. I want to add a little bit of noise to really get that sound across, you know? Well, I mean, it's not present, so what are we going to do? Probably get a VST plug-in. You know how much work that is? Yeah, I know, Dave, but what else? What am